Welcome to all the Fairview fans racing on Friday the 19th of March. We will be on the turf surface, 8 carded races, of which the highlights will be the Oaks Plate and of course the listed East Cape Fillies Nursery. We start off in race 1 though, which is a Welcome to Fairview Maiden Juvenile Plate. They'll be racing over the 1,000 metre trip, and here my first 3 selections are 1, 7 and 8. I think that A-grade Marmalade showed fantastic improvement from his first run to his second. He was beaten by the favourite last time out, and he gave a very game account of himself in second. I think he's going to use his experience in this race against a lot of first-timers as a bit of a bonus, and I do think he has winning ability. A first-timer that does grab the attention is number 7, Whatever Next. He is a Winter colt out of a Captain Al mare, so the natural speed is there. As trainer Alan Kreff does point out, he is expecting a good run, so he has to be taken note of, and I will be tipping him in second. For third, another first timer in the way of number 8, Winter Tiger. This one also bred for early speed by Where's That Tiger out of a Western Winter mare, and the yard saying that he is showing some decent work. They're not 100% sure what to expect from him on race day. Greenness could be an issue there, but I'm going to stick with the breeding. It does promise some speed. On to race 2. This is a Pinnacle Stakes over the mile trip, and fantastic to have a new horse like number 1, Golden Pheasant, making his way down from the Highveld. He will be my pick for victory here. I think he races off some very competitive Highveld form. He is weighted to win, and the yard are expecting a good run. I do think that we can expect a bit of cheek from the likes of number 2, American Landing. He's really relished being back on the turf surface of recent, and has shown that although he has won over further, he's really enjoying the mile at the moment. So in good form, I expect him to be knocking. Horse number 4 is Sailing Lizard, and he's another horse who's taken very well to the Eastern Cape. 2 runs so far here for 2 victories, and they both have been really easy. He's proven himself on both surfaces, and though he steps up in class here, he's not yet put a foot wrong, and I do think merits respect. So he'll be my pick for third. Race 3, and this is a maiden plate over the 1,400 metre trip. I do think there are a couple with chances here, but consistency for me is standout, and as a result, I'm going with number 3, Demonte, to take the win. Never far back, he's further raised his game since fitted with the blinkers, and today could be his day. A horse like number 8, Jaspero, has to be taken account of. He made his local debut last time out and showed significant improvement on the Cape form with which he relocated to run second to Sputnik 1. He really enjoyed being fitted with the blinkers and tongue tie, which he is wearing again, and the yard do feel the slight step up in trip will be in his favour, so in he goes. Number 4, Better Days, is where I look for third. This fellow will be making his local debut for the Zitzman Oosthuizen yard, and although his recent form is not his best, I do think that if he can swing it round and produce a run like when finishing third, only under a length to Rostropovich, I think that he could be a bit of a lurker in this lineup. Race 4, stepping up to the 2,000 metre trip, is another maiden plate, this one for the fillies and mares. Here my first selection will be number 2, Cape Battis, and I'm tipping her to beat the likes of number 8. That is Queen Louise, and then followed by number 1, Red Rules. Now, Cape Battis has been nothing but hard knocking since making her way to the Eastern Cape, and in her 3 runs here, she has placed in all. I do think it could be a case of her getting rewarded, and she really does look to have claims at victory here. I do think that number 8, Queen Louise, she may have looked a little bit hard to follow in her recent starts, a bit erratic, her penultimate not being her best effort, but I do think she overdid it, and she raced way too handy, did way too much early that day, and restrained next time out. She did run a much better race, so expect one of her better efforts. I do think she's got a claim at earning, and not without chance at victory. Number 1, Red Rules. She showed huge improvement last time out when fitted with the blinkers for the first time. The yard are hoping that she can build on that, and if she does so, she will be thereabouts again. Race 5 over the 2,400 metre trip is a Pinnacle Stakes, and great to have Atyab step out again. I will admit he looks very, very hard to oppose here. Once again, he comes in here maybe at top weight, but he's proven he can easily carry that 62. He is easily the best weighted and much better distance suited this time. So I think that there's a whole lot in his favour, and he looks very, very hard to oppose. He does look like the standout banker of the day. Number 2, Aranjuez himself was a very easy winner over course and distance last time out when winning the Lakeside Handicap. He tucked just off the pace, and when he kicked there were no challenges, and he sauntered to a 7.5 length victory. I think on that he deserves a little bit of respect, and although he may have his work cut out to beat Atyab, I do think he'll be there as far as the placings are concerned. Number 3 is Africa's Gold. He's proven himself over staying trips in the Eastern Cape, and he is a steadfast galloper when let to run out front. Another horse that will have a hard task to beat Atyab, but I do expect him in the shake-up. Race 6 is the Oaks Plate, and here we get to see the 3-year-old fillies step out. 1, 4, and 3 is how I am going here. I think that Colorado Springs, she tops the best weighted column, and not too many horses can boast having had 8 career starts for 4 victories in 4 seconds. She's really held scintillating form throughout her career. Another good run is expected from her, and as such, I do make her the horse to beat. I think a horse like number 4, Musical Glitch, is not without chance though. It was a very smart second to the useful Santa Teresa in the Breeders' Guineas last time out. A run to take note of. She was doing her best work late, and that really merits well for her, stepping up to 1800 today. So with Glenn Cotson also expecting a good run from her, don't write her off. Number 3 is Cerelia. And Cerelia has really found her way of recent. This will be one of the tougher fields she's taking on, but she's hitting it at the right time. She's really run well of late over the mile trip, and the way she's finished suggests the 1800 will be up her alley. Our feature of the afternoon is the listed East Cape Fillies Nursery, and we're looking forward to see the 2-year-old fillies do battle here. We do have a couple of visitors from the Cape, and I think they do demand respect. I am going with the likes of number 2, Europeana, to take the victory here. I think that in her 2 starts to date, she's proven that she could just be a cut above. 3rd on debut behind Gimme Dat, a horse who came out to win the Kenilworth Fillies Nurseries in her next start, really does bode well. And Europeana left the maidens very easily last time out when showing a good turn of foot late. So I do think the Snake Yard, how mean business bringing her down, looking for the black type, and I do think she's capable of finding that. I think a fair amount of respect has to be given to a fellow Cape Raider in the way of number 4, Jewel of Doha. She managed 2 decent runs before leaving the maidens last time out, and the yard are expecting a good effort from her. They do think she's coming along with each run. There's more to look forward to from her, and as a result, she must be respected. Of the local runners, hard to draw a line between the likes of number 5, Miss Nibbles, and 6, Old Glory. Miss Nibbles was a very easy winner on her one start to date, and Old Glory, although disappointing last time out, was a fluent victor in her first run. So I'm going to go with Old Glory. I'm hoping that last time out she was just caught out by the fact that it's a sticky going, and she is quite a leggy filly. So hoping with the going back on top, we can see the best of her and she can manage to find the frame. Race 8, the last of the day, always a very, very open race, and no difference here with the merit rate at 68 handicap over the 1400 meter trip. Battled to make heads and tails of this race, but I have elected to go with the top weight here, number 1, Perfect Pathway. She must still prove herself on grass, it is fair to say, but the way she's been running on the poly starts, which is the only surface she has started on in PE, I think she could just enjoy the longer run in of the home straight. So going with Perfect Pathway to take the victory. Her stable companion, number 14, All in Line, I do think can get a look in here. Last time out, when having his first start after a second win, he gave a fair account of himself, despite the fact that he ran into a few traffic problems late. So I do think that he can get even closer here. Number 7, a horse also needs to be taken into consideration, is Salele. But disappointing last time out, not going to lie, but perhaps another who was caught out by the sticky going on that afternoon. I will be hoping for better from him. I've been following him and he's overdue to get a look in. So Salele goes in as my 3rd pick. That's the first 3 on the 8 race card. Now to have a look at the PA, and that will kick off, of course, in race 2. And here I have gone with the numbers of 1 and 2. I do think they'll be good enough to get us through, expecting a very bold showing from Golden Pheasant, having his first start in the Eastern Cape, and expecting American Landing to show some cheek. On to race 3. A little bit more open here, so all three of my first selections have gone in, and they are all of De Monte, Jaspiro, and of course then looking to Better Days. So those three go in for me. Another three in the next leg, which is race 4, 2, 8 and 1, Cape Battis. My first pick, I do think not a horse you can leave out. Number 8, Queen Louise, and number 1, Red Rules, all go in as well. Next two legs of the PA, I do think we are able to banker, definitely in race 5, number 1, Atyab. He looks really hard to oppose here, and I think we should be very much safe with him. In the Oaks Plate, likewise, number 1, Colorado Springs, topping that best weighted column. She should give a bold showing. Two horses as far as the East Cape Fillies Nursery is concerned, and they are both the Cape runners. So I have entered there Europeana and number 4, Jewel of Doha. In the last, I've decided we need to cover. It is an open race, and my first 3 selections of Perfect Pathway, all in line, and the likes of horse number 7, Salele go in, and I further bolster that by including number 3, Looks Like Magic. So that will be 4 horses to round up the last leg of the PA. Hoping Lady Luck is sitting on our shoulder as far as the pick 6 is concerned, because I have taken a couple of chances. There are a couple of open fields and there are a couple of standouts, and that's exactly as I have elected to play it. In race 3, Autumn Maiden Plate, I have elected to go with the field there, all 11 runners going in, and as far as race 4 is concerned, likewise. So I start off the pick 6 with 2 fields. Then comes the good news. We move on to Atyab's race, and for me, he is a standout, and he will be the first of my bankers. Race 6, the Oaks Plate, which is leg 4 of the pick 6, and taking a chance here on Colorado Springs, and she will be my next banker. Following up in the listed East Cape Fillies Nursery, I think a lot of number 2, Europeana, and as a result I have elected to banker her as well. And then we finish in the final race, race 8, very wide open, and I have gone field. So straight play for the pick 6 there. It will be field, banker Atyab, banker Colorado Springs, banker Europeana, and field to round off. Jackpot, I do play a little bit of a cover as far as that's concerned. I still start off with the field in race 4. I do think it's an open race where a few have chances, and then I will stick with the banker of Atyab in race 1. I go for a little bit of a cover in the Oaks Plate and Colorado Springs, my initial banker. I do back up with the horse that I do think should be her main danger in the way of number 4, Musical Glitch. Go even wider in the Fillies Nursery, where added to Europeana, I put in number 4, Jewel of Doha, the likes of the local runners, number 6, Old Glory, 5, Miss Nibbles, and 8, Silent Observer. So a little bit of a cover for the pick 6 as far as the jackpot is concerned. To round up, my best bet, I'm sure you must have realized by now, will be the likes of Atyab, and he races in race 5. He is number 1. Wish you all a great day's racing.